We finally have an incentive program that is, when I go to meetings in Los Angeles, I'm not being told, oh, well, this is not a very good program. We're getting just the opposite reaction now, that our program has some viability, and we're, to use a phrase, we're back in the game. You know, the history of this is kind of long. Incentives were, you know, something that have been around for a while. Texas really has felt the impact in the last 5 years. When New Mexico and Louisiana passed programs, and away we went. We lost work, we lost crew, we're starting to lose infrastructure. So a lot of people have really come together in a huge way. I have to say, I went through the same process in Illinois, where we were able to pass a tax credit, and it really wasn't the same team sport there that it was in Texas. And I have to say I'm very proud of how across this entire state people have come together in a real way and crossing over industry segments and talking to people they've never talked to before, working with them in a very, very productive way. The Texas program is very broad. It does include feature films and television, but it also includes commercials, which are a huge business in our state. And corporate work now, I'm very happy to say that we use the phrase instructional and educational videos because the legislature didn't like the word corporate video, which is kind of our shorthand for corporate work. But so it means the same thing. Trust me, it's all the same bit of business, but we call it instructional. And so any video that teaches someone how to do something or tells them about something, that counts as corporate work. We also include reality television, which is, we're one of the very few states that includes reality TV. And we include anything you want to produce for the internet. Webisodes, webinars, interstitials, you name it, we'll count it if you're spending enough money in Texas. We do have some financial thresholds. We'll kind of go through this. But the first bit of business I want to tell you about is tomorrow night, Fitzgerald's 6:30 is the Houston regional meeting for the Texas Motion Picture Alliance. It's very, very important that people participate and continue to participate in that organization. It really is the thing that kind of took the ball over the goal line and made it happen in the last legislative session. So if you really want to participate and you really want to have some impact on what we're trying to accomplish here, because I started in July of 2007 working on the legislators for the 2009 session. It's a very long process. Texas, for those, they go in session every 2 years for 140 days. And well, I guess Governor Perry is going to give us a little extra bonus time to deal with the TxDOT issue this year, but generally the regular session is that. And so you have to come into that game very, very, very prepared. In a state where you have a full-time legislature, that they're able to kind of get to legislation. And so things go through the process and bills will eventually come out. In Texas, it's much more of a land rush. We have 140 days every year, that's when the clock starts. And any legislation that was brought up last time does not exist anymore. And so they start afresh. So you have to kind of, if you have an agenda and if you didn't get everything you wanted done last time, you've got to start all over the next session. So it's very, very important that there's good representation that reads lobbyist. And that's a very effective way to get things done in the state of Texas. But realize that only through an organization like the TXMPA does that kind of nonsense happen. I wish we didn't have to have lobbyists. Trust me, I wish we didn't have to have lobbyists, but we do. And that's the way it gets done here, and we have to deal with reality, not something that we would like to see the world. I'm afraid that world doesn't really kind of work for us. So that's my bit of business for the TXMPA. I am a paid member myself because I really believe in what the organization does. So I encourage you, if you haven't joined, please do, because it is a good advocacy organization. It's txmpa.org, and that's, again, 6:30 tomorrow night at Fitzgerald. So they're having their annual meeting where they'll pick you know, things like delegates going to the statewide meeting, which is going to be June 27th. It's just a very important thing to do. If you really want to really get your hands dirty in making it better for Houston, this is a very good way for you to do it. So that's the end of that ad. So our little in-city program, that it was really funny. There was a point, over the last weekend, had the opportunity, Michelle Maurer and I were both at the producers conference put on by the Producers Guild, and I guess it was called the Produced By Conference. And there was, at one point, I was being asked, well, so you cover movies and film, that's everybody does that. You do commercials, yes. You do, you know, corporate work, yes. You do web stuff, yes. You know, it was like all these different categories that the Texas program now, I'm very happy to say, is the broadest program out there. And we cover more of the different types of production activity that go on that really make up the fabric of a production community than any other state.